trying to pull in those defenses, but a lot of baiting would need to happen to hold off Tribe Gaming in this one. And we're going to kind of get this answer right off the bat as Kronos comes in with the Zap Hydra.
We did see the hit rates of this attack being one of the most popular, but actually had one of the lowest hit rates, amazingly. So let's find out if he can get this one done as he's just charging his queen in towards the Eagle Artillery. Nice confident start here from Kronos.
It is, and we can already see the shape up of the path here where he's connected the Zapquake on the opposite side where the queen is, working the king and the queen from the opposite side where he's narrowing out a channel in the center of the base to send in his Hydra. I would say likely from the more narrow spot so he can spread out and he can get more value out of the Warden ability to get the blimp sailing through past the Town Hall a little bit deeper into the base.
This is very similar, in fact, as to what we've seen from Boom of alternate attacks. Or was it Boom? Or maybe it was Ast yesterday, using the heroes into that right-hand side, and then the dragons moving through the center with the blimp for the Town Hall. It is a similar base, but interestingly here, Lady B, the Grand Warden ability has been used. Battle Blimp not flying across the base with that. Maybe he's just going to wait and send it in later on. That's an interesting play.
Yeah, he's going to wait till these dragons clear the path, obviously picking up the traps on their own. A little bit early of a Warden ability, but he does manage to keep them alive and well, and the blimp is able to... I can't say it! I was going to say successfully sail through, but look at that tornado trap placement, holding off the blimp, still manages to get it out there over top the Town Hall exactly the way he wants to see it. And I got to point out, beautiful freezes to help hold off the damage coming in from it.
I was going to point that out. Very quick reactions from Kronos to freeze the Town Hall, but unfortunately the dragons are just inside that poison. They've gone down and they weren't able to get the ground expo, which was actually crucial for the Royal Champion. He needed that defense down so she could hopefully swoop around the rest of the base. It's not paid off here. There's still quite a lot left, and it's not the start that Tribe Gaming wanted, particularly when we think back to the percentage we seen yesterday. I believe the average was well above this, but I guess a couple of 3 stars will certainly pull up that average. 82% 2-star, not the start we wanted from Tribe.
No, it might not be the start that Tribe wanted, but it was certainly the start that Elevate wanted to see. Now holding this first strong defense, coming in against a team that you clearly pointed out went 15 stars against Tompanai and is the only team to knock them down twice in this. So this is a huge victory just from the start for Elevate.
I think I mentioned Elevate's bases and how strong they are earlier on, but maybe, you know, because Tribe have some former team members, there's a little bit extra competitiveness here, and they really are putting up the top bases because this is a matchup that they will be looking to win. I mean, I know they aim to win every matchup, but you always want to try and catch the teams mid-table, if that makes sense. Even if you're not beating the ones at the very top, mid-table teams is where you're going to crawl in towards that top 4 spot.
It definitely is. Eve Kartoffee, though, he's got the opportunity to capitalize off a pretty large lead because they were able to hold this defense. I mean, you want to always start off on the right foot, but this is the war that you really need to do it if you find an early opening. Kartoffee bringing in the Hydra Bat, which we have seen some beautiful displays of within the matches yesterday. King helping to open up the path in the channel for the Queen to work through, taking down the Eagle. When we look to do this, we're not only looking to shape up the path for our dragons, but we're looking to pick up some big value. And I like taking down those Eagles early when you can, because it means less firing away and you can get better value out of the Warden ability.
Yeah, throughout the raid itself, you can be surprised across the couple of minutes how much damage the Eagle Artillery can do. We see that quick deployment of the dragons from the right side, just one dragon used to create the funnel as they move through, and the Battle Blimp soaring down towards the Town Hall, meaning he's trying to send the Hydra in towards the multi-target Infernos, because with splash damage down, that is where the bats can survive. Now, the Wizard Tower next to the Town Hall there could be problematic if he doesn't get get that. But he is surrounding this area with dragons. The multi in the middle is missed, though, and it doesn't look like the dragons are going there.
No, the pathing unfortunately splits a bit awry. We do have the bats finally coming in, and we need to watch the position of these freezes. Scattershot and Wizard Tower just a little too far apart from each other, but the Royal Champ trying to sneak her way in to help with a little bit of distraction here so he can get the most value out of the freezes he has. Even helps to hold up the multi, but the bats aren't making their path there. They go right for the Scattershot as it is continuously engaged at the Royal Champion, and this works out in his favor because the Royal Champ, I was going to say, she could have gotten it done, but the defending RC...
She took down the defending RC. Oh, I thought Lassie was... Oh, the Electro Owl! I thought Lassie was going to be the pet to get the victory, but the owl sneaks it. Multi down, and there we go. Kartoffee with the 3 stars. That certainly had us on the edge of our seat. It looked like it was happening, it wasn't happening, but there you go. 3 stars it is.
Oh, beautiful start here for Team Elevate. Again, this is a team that did take down Tribe in their previous matchup, which I believe was in Play Day 3, if I'm not mistaken. And we're seeing them start to dominate here just from the beginning of the war. It does not mean that they can sit back and breathe easy because Tribe is going to bring everything they possibly have to turn this around. But Judah, what I'm curious to see is the previous matchup against them, we had 12-12 with a % win. Do you think we'll see something this close again?
I'm sure that we will. I think both of these teams have the caliber to beat each other. It really does just come down to the day. Switching things to ground here in terms of the P.E.K.K.A. Smash, and we have seen relatively good success with this. It was on the top 6, not the highest hit rate, but when you see it work well, for example, Boom's attack yesterday, it tears apart bases like nothing else.
It really does. And what you want to look for is picking up some high targeting defensive items first. We do see the Warden coming here, looking to help section off this base and ideally take down the Scattershot. And we're also going to look at the pathing to see that we can connect some of those heavy hitting damage items, because we do have the Eagle kind of on the outskirts of the base, 2 wall breakers. I'm curious to see if we're going to get the King coming in, depending on how we get this funnel situated, but we can really connect those 2 items. We've got the Eagle and the other Scattershot in close proximity.
Queen moving into the base there. Now we see the super wall break, interestingly pushing her into this right-hand side where she can hopefully merge in with the P.E.K.K.A. towards the Eagle, but he's only got 1 jump spell here, and is he going to let the P.E.K.K.A. just punch through the wall? I think that's probably going to be the play.
Log launcher. He's bringing in the log launcher to open this up. I was really curious to see the sectioning off to bring in the P.E.K.K.A.s until I saw this, which is going to try and help work the Queen in, though she's the one who has to beat through the walls here, though that is her favorite target item.
It certainly is. The Grand Gordon ability there just about clips the healers, which is beautiful, as the multi was beaming on them. And he does get the healer switch. They are onto the P.E.K.K.A. out in front, which is always what you want in such an attack. The Queen is now protected because the P.E.K.K.A. are taking the damage. And he is charging right through here. Log Launcher opens up the entire base. Town Hall is down, and the jump gives access to the multi with the Royal Champion moving in from the right-hand side. This now looks incredibly good for Exorcist.
I love the way that he has pathed around this, because we were talking about those heavier damage items where we have the Scattershots, the Eagles, and you still need to make the connection to the Town Hall. The way he has navigated this, forced everything together through to the back end of the base, and obviously leaving very minimal work for the Royal Champion where she can sneak in. We've got a multi-targeting Inferno, runs very little risk for her to pick off, unlike the single targeting Inferno, even able to hold on to this invisibility spell, which honestly, let's talk about it. It's not really needed, but just gives it everything he possibly can. Doesn't want to take the risks because they know going up against Elevate, especially after this defense, they've got to bring it all.
Absolutely, and I do want to point out, despite turning the storage invisible, that was the play he wanted to do to get the defenses down first. Once the defenses are down, you know you are home sailing, as long as you have enough time, which he knew he did. Now we're back into the court of Elevate. We did get the kind of low percentage given what we have been seeing from Tribe, but getting that 3-star certainly gives them that little bit confidence boost moving forward, and Elevate ultimately need to perform here and get another good attack to keep themselves in the lead.
Yeah, they definitely need to be on the edge of their seats, just the way we are in this matchup so far. But they've got to stay on their toes here, not letting anything slip up past them, because you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose this huge lead that you have going up against a team like Tribe Gaming that will quickly turn the game back in their favor, which we saw from that beautiful attack. Mark here, though, you know, I say this time and time again, he is one of my favorite Queen Charge Lalo attackers to watch because of his superb Queen Charges, the way he looks at a base, the way he just barrels his way through, keeps his Queen going, is exceptional.
Yeah, in the World Championship qualifier, it was incredible to watch how he did it time and time again against Tombanai's bases as well, who are very good with this particular strategy. And as you can see, he's easily charged his Queen into the compartment he wants, quickly getting that air defense down to protect his healers. And he's shortly going to be getting the enemy heroes in that of the Royal Champion and the Queen, obviously key targets to take down.
And the King taking on the scatter shot here, helping to force the path of the Queen into
Queen.
the center of the base. She's raged up with the healers, ready to take on the CC troops. She is taking on a lot of damage as we have the 2 ground bows targeted at her, so he needs to keep the rages coming. The most important thing with these Queen Charges is to keep your Queen alive. You're investing so much to pick up the value and shape up the pathing, and particularly with Mark, he looks for these really just dominating Queen Charges. But the one thing that we do know, even from the Worlds, is that these do run the risk of time fail, so he has to try and keep it forcing along as quickly as possible. The Royal Champ even sneaking in to come help out and section off the rest of this base for the Lalo.
I am a little bit surprised that Mark didn't use the jump to open up the compartment to the right by the multi. I guess he was worried that the Queen might not go to the central multi, but it does mean that she's now going to go down as the healers are finished. However, if he can get this Town Hall down with the blimp, which is looking very good, he can probably surround the multi-target Inferno with the balloons, because his Queen has got so much value. The tornado does pop though, spinning the balloons, but that's not too bad with the Town Hall already gone. It's where do they go? Most of them outside of the poison, but some of them are getting hit here.
He needs as many loons as possible to bring his way up to the multi with no spells left over to get past it. His problem is coming up against a Wizard Tower surrounded by Teslas. That splash damage from the Wizard Tower obviously posing the biggest threat as he makes his way towards the multi. And this is where we see it fizzle out and unfortunately crumble here. I agree with you. I was waiting to see where he would place that jump, and these are some of the judgment calls that you make, because you know that the Queen pathing can be just completely thrown awry with your jump opening up additional compartments and not picking up the intended value, but it does cost them here in the end.
91% 2-star will keep Team Elevate slightly in the lead on percentage, but stars now tied up. I feel Mark just wanted to assure he got the multi-target Inferno in the center of the base so that at least his Lalo didn't need to go there. We did see that there was plenty of traps in that area as expected. Didn't quite work out in his favor towards the end though. However, Elevate will be happy. I mean, at this stage, as long as you're in the lead, you have got to be satisfied, right?
And this is exactly the way they played it the last time, hanging on to the percent win. And we saw a lot of defenses coming through that, because a 12-12 war is pretty impressive against any of these teams in the matchup. And, you know, Tribe Gaming, who is easily able to put up a 15-star war against one of the top tier teams in the game, speaks a lot about the defense that Elevate can bring against Tribe.
This is an interesting stage in the war, though, because now the momentum kind of shifting towards the favor of Tribe. So whilst they are down on percentage, they've probably got a little bit more of the momentum swing now. And it's interesting to know who they will be putting up next. Obviously, I know it depends on the bases and plans of attack, but if they have... I was going to call Eve Maxi out as well, you know, Lady B. If they have someone with the experience like Eve Maxi coming up, he could be the one that they need for the assurity of this 3-star.
This is exactly who I would have named as well, especially after the beautiful Lalo that we saw from him yesterday. But opting back over to one of the most popular attack strategies that he is probably the most well-versed in, and that is this Queen Charge Drag Rider, setting up the path here by forcing the king in first, allowing the queen access into this multi-compartment, and even has a jump to start paving the way. Now, because we do have the blimp, I assume this queen is going to path her way into the center of the base, so I could be completely wrong. There's just a lot of great value that she can pick up in there, as well as not taking down the scatter shot and the multi, but also eliminating a lot of potential traps within the core.
Maxi also has that battle blimp selected, and we do know he likes to sometimes send that in towards the center of the base. With the jump spell, I am curious as to whether he's jumping the queen to the town hall or jumping her into the center. Looks like he is going to force her towards the town hall after the lava hound goes down, using the freezes here just to keep her going. But the ability is used, and that is huge, because when you're charging her to the town hall, you want to know she's going to stay alive, and he's basically committed everything to the right-hand side now, so he's got no plan B. He has to assure the queen does get the town hall.
A bit tricky for him, but she does make her way here, and he switched it up on us, okay? He brought in the Stone Slammer to help flank from the 430 side of the base. Queen still looking strong here, able to take down the town hall, and he gets a beautiful force into the center, particularly because of that Stone Slammer placement.
Beautiful invisibility onto the Dragon Riders there. They were just starting to take a lot of damage, but if you notice, they are pretty much at full health, and he still has all 5 of them left over, Lady B. He has crushed this base. Defenses are history. I can't see anything stopping him here. I'm very much looking at the clock. I know I missed it on one attack yesterday, but even Maxi is not going to worry about that. We called it at the start of this one. They needed the experience in this attack to keep themselves putting the pressure on to elevate. Eve Maxi has done exactly that, and you know it's a good attack when you don't lose any troops of the core phase of your attack. 5 Dragon Riders surrounding the Elixir storage, 100% 3-star, and a beautiful example of this brand new attack strategy.
I love that when Tribe knows that they need to get the numbers in, they call for Eve Maxi, and he just showcased exactly why. And this was one of the higher hitting percent rates that we had for the most common strategies. I believe, if I'm not, this was the top one, the Queen Charge Hydra. So we can see not only how successful it is for Eve Maxi and Tribe Gaming, but across the board with the teams this week.
Yeah, the Dragon Riders really just lend themselves to the Queen Charge because, as I mentioned yesterday, you don't have to worry about funneling the opposite side of your base. Once the Queen has taken down that section, you've got the pathing where you need it for the Dragon Riders. But we also have Muda now, a player with lots of experience. Flying the Battle Blimp into the Town Hall is going to get there safely because we've seen a lot of baited bases yesterday for this strategy.
We definitely did. So is able to secure the town hall and do double duty here by getting the clan Castler, which is going to allow the queen to take it out without any additional damage coming at her, bar obviously this cannon. But when you see inside the space, you've got the double ground bow, you've got the Warden Tower, so that would be packing a heavy punch for anything else coming into it other than those sneaky goblins that managed to get their way safely through. We can see some more sneaky goblins down to the bottom side of the base to help funnel the queen into the scatter shot compartment, and he is going for a long push. I'm wondering if some of this plan might have come from Mark, considering we have so many wall breakers and a jump to push her into the base.
Definitely taking inspiration from his Queen Charges, and I have to say, I love the sneaky goblins to funnel on the outside of the base. A lot of the time we would previously see a baby dragon 10 troop capacity, but the sneaky goblin is so good to just, well, sneak on in and take the building down. And he's also got a baby dragon wisely to that side of the base where the archer tower can easily go down, and it can basically get some free percentage over there as the queen will hopefully be pushed in towards the multi due to the baby dragon and the king now being used on that side.
Ooh, I'm curious to see if this wall break's going to open up the eagle compartment for the king, which is going to help force the queen into the core of the base where we have the multi. She can help pick up the air sweeper and take down the defending AQ. And there goes that wall breaker, giving this king full access here. The queen naturally gravitating into the core, and we're going to get to see the royal champion adding some additional value.
Beautiful invisibility there because the queen caught on the enemy king. She's not going to the multi, and it's leaving the healers vulnerable. Thankfully, the queen turns around, but is she going to get that multi in time? Oh, only just. Many of the healers protected there. If they hit a red bomb, they are history. But the queen just about clinging on here, and hopefully she can get through the expos with her ability.
Now, unfortunately, despite dropping in the Royal Champion, we still have to backtrack. We've got the Archer Tower and the air defense at the top side of the base. Queen is already gravitating down to make her way through, but he's got a ton of loons left over here. His biggest problem is going to be time. 19 seconds left and only 1 loon and 2 minions that are not going to make a difference on the north side.
Yeah, the balloons just took huge damage there as well. No spells either for that multi-target Inferno. So unfortunately, not going to be the 3-star. And that will mean that Tribe Gaming have been able to switch things around here, putting the experience up to give them the 1-star advantage at this stage. And obviously, we now have this little cat and mouse game. Elevate taking the lead, Tribe taking over. We've certainly got the momentum in their favor, but there's still 2 attacks. Plenty of time for Elevate to switch it around.
And they just need to hopefully have some more defenses available at their disposal. Something that they know is going to trip up Tribe Gaming. I love the first attack because we got to see a beautifully positioned tornado trap that really made the difference in their approach. And I gotta say, that base had looked oddly familiar to me. I'm not sure if it was one that has already been run and maybe they switched up some traps, because I feel like that is one of the best ways to try and really trip up any player in this game, is by giving them a little something that they think they know that they're going up against and throwing in that oddball mix that catches them off guard. But Nebrax is a tough one to try and catch off guard, and bringing in what we were talking about earlier that we didn't get to see on the list, but we have seen a handful of, and that is the Inferno Drag Rider attack.
We have seen them have incredible success as well. Sometimes a very quick attack as well, because it basically mimics the mass Inferno Dragon attack that we used to see. But from having a couple of Dragon Riders, you can just target onto those key defenses quite well. And the one thing I noticed is he's opting for a lot of freeze spells here rather than the skeleton spells. So we've already deployed 1 skelly spell in the middle to try and distract that area, take down the king. But the freeze are going to be important here for the back end of the base. We've still got the battle blimp to move on through as well, which we should be seeing deployed momentarily, I would think. But let's wait and see. He's holding on to that battle blimp. Maybe he's actually just going to push in from closer to the town hall.
Oh, coming actually in from the 1 o'clock side of the base, we do have the Inferno Drag and Drag Rider that have already cleared out the majority of the pathing to it, not even risking waiting the time for it to sail through the center where he did clear out everything, but successfully getting that down. Yetis completely obliterating it, and we even get a little bit more, maybe not as much value from those Yetimites as he hoped for, but the Royal Champ has some easy cleanup work here. I mean, look at this. 3 free spells to try and hold off 2 Archer Towers and air defense. Come on now. This Royal Champ can do this in her sleep and get the job done. And he's not even worried about time with 1:05 on the clock.
Just mass freeze spells at this stage. I do want to point out that battle blimp. What an incredible move that was, because it meant that the Yetis, after taking the town hall, could get the single, which ultimately is all he needed from this area, with the freeze spells and the RC ability left over. As long as the single target Inferno went down, there was no threat for him. 3 stars it is, keeping the pressure on for Tribe, and now it is now or never for Team Elevate. They have to 3-star, otherwise it's ultimately not going to happen for them.
Yeah, this is a tough turnaround point for Elevate, who, it's almost like one of those cat and mouse type games where maybe Tribe Gaming's decided to come in with the base they weren't quite so sure of, going in with the attack strategy that they knew they might not get the triple in, which could put Elevate in that victory mode, saying, we got this, making them feel a little bit more comfortable and relaxed. And that's where you lose your ground quickly. But Eve Carlito needs to see if he can pull this one back around. And it wouldn't be only this one. It would still need to be from Kala and holding a defense. But it always starts one by one, starting at this point with the Yeti Blimp coming in a little shallow on the entry, but does make the connection to pick off the multi-targeting Inferno and get the Clan Castle lore.
Exactly what he wanted at this stage. He's also got that funneling for the Archer Queen, who's aiming to just take down the Clan Castle troops first, and now deploys the healers. A little bit delayed on those healers, but gets them in, and that will protect the Queen. Now, we do tend to see... Are these super minions on the healers? I believe they are, actually, and he's lost one of the healers already. Looks like he might lose a second to the super minions, so that's a little bit unfortunate for Carlito.
Yeah, that poison not quite getting them encompassed in it, and not having the full value of your healers means your Queen's not going to get the full value intended. But these Drag Riders are very tanky. We'll see how much longer the Queen can hold on, and she does have the Unicorn for that additional assist here. Just needs to continue the pathing. Main thing is getting to the town hall and helping to clear that out.
Yeah, once he's got through this area to the town hall, he can breathe a little bit easier. He's still got 2 super wall breakers, so all is good. Beautiful placement there, targeting the air defense the super wall breaker was, so it perfectly aligns the Queen towards that town hall. Probably going to try and get the king in as well. Yep, there we go, towards the multi, and that will just push the Queen closer towards the middle. And then we've got the thin channel with the Dragon Riders nicely moving in towards the Eagle. You mentioned earlier, Lady B, key to take down the Eagle early on, so that's why he's moving in from that side.
And the Warden ability here can be reserved as they're taking on some damage, making their approach into the Scattershot compartment, obviously already taking on some fire from the initial blows from the Eagle, which just got taken down. So beautifully timed, gets everything in there. We even have one on the outskirts helping to clean this up. We do lose a little bit of the pathing, but he's got 2 working along with a Royal Champion here.
Oh, he committed a lot to the Queen. I am gutted for Carlito there because he was clinging the Queen on. He used a rage and an invisibility. It looked like he had it, but then the Expos unfortunately took her down. Should still be enough here, though, because the Dragon Rider's full on health. Nothing major to take them down because the ground ball... well, is a ground ball. So there you go. What I was going to say towards the start of this attack is we do tend to see the hit rates moving up towards the end of the war. So whilst that sounds good for Elevate, Tribe have maintained their 3-star hit rate throughout the middle of the war. So maybe they will be finishing strong as well, but Elevate keeping themselves in the game for sure.
Yeah, they do have, I believe it will be Kai Knowledge who's up to bat for Tribe Gaming in the final attack. We have been seeing him hit in that last position, and he is a base builder himself. So I always tend to think that these base builders look very carefully to see where they could possibly be baited. And we can see we do have the stat standing next to us right here. That 88% could have been fine for Tribe Gaming, but combined with the 91% 2-star as well that they had is what puts them in a tough position. So they need to see some defense coming through. I just think it's a tough ask against a player like Kai, again, who is a base builder who will be over-analyzing everything that he's looking at.
And kind of following on from that, exactly like I was saying, he's had more time to plan this attack. So that's where we do sometimes see the hit rates moving up towards the end. And if he's got the knowledge, unintended, for the base building and the baits, hopefully that's not something that will catch him out, and we will see Tribe Gaming getting this one done. But, you know, anything can happen. It's the P.E.K.K.A. Smash, and it is one of the bases which you might have heard Itsu talking about in the World Championships, with walls everywhere to try and just put the attacker off.
Yeah, so we've
on
got
different levels of walls.
Yeah. This is kind of old school from what we used to see back in the day, especially trying to hold off wall breakers, regular wall breakers back in the day. But Knowledge working through with the Super P.E.K.K.A. Smash, one of the most successful ground attacks that we're seeing. And again, when we look at these bases, you need to figure out what big value you can get and how you can path it together so at the end, you're not scrambling to take down single target infernos, scatter shots left and right. You need the pathing to continuously rotate around, creating a beautiful opening here for the blimp to sail through into the town hall compartment and lead his entire brigade across into the scatter shot, into the eagle, and back over into the last remaining scatter shot.
Nice use of the Grand Warning ability there, not just catching the battle blimp as it moved through, but pretty much every troop in this area, the Coco Loons, the healers, obviously the P.E.K.K.A. Smash itself. With the Town Hall down, he's got that assurity, but as the P.E.K.K.A. move through, they really need to get to the Eagle and the Scatter Shot. He can feel a lot more comfortable knowing he's still got the Royal Champion to deploy. He's really just trying to get to the Scatter Shot. Now, the P.E.K.K.A. do jump into that compartment, so they should get it momentarily, but there are Skellies there, and a Tesla farm popped on this area. Is he going to send the RC in alongside the King, or does he just wait a little bit longer?
The RC benefits so much from the backing of the King here, but she's got, I mean, I would say she has an easy compartment to get into, but we have the defending RC on guard, plus we've got this long-range ground bow that's still firing away, and it's unfortunate because I liked his jump placement, which would have gravitated them a little bit further in, but obviously they needed to jump back out of the compartment to get through here, so the patience hopefully paying off for Knowledge on this one as the Yak breaks through the wall. Still, look at the King health on this one. Barely missing a beat, and this is where the Royal Champ can clearly benefit because of the defending Royal Champ, because of the ground bow. It would be far too much for her to contend with.
Yeah, it's so much easier to take down the defending hero when you've got a lot of troops multiplying their DPS and ultimately, like you said, protecting the Royal Champion. The ability goes through. Can she get the remaining defenses here? The ground bow is on her, but I think she's going to win that battle. Move on forward. Time is ticking, but he should be good here to pull in the victory for Tribe Gaming. This will put them out of reach of Elevate, and if very impressive 14 stars despite missing the first one. This shows that they can turn things around. They will not let themselves be phased, and another incredible performance by them.
Absolutely phenomenal. And what they did is they said, you know what? You guys got us once. You're not going to get this opportunity again. They fought back hard, but I would love to see a strong finish coming in from Elevate because we know that they have this beautiful performance that could easily have tied things up. Just a bit unfortunate with the Lalo attacks, with the Queen charges, and not getting that full value. You know, it's a bit gut-wrenching to, to have seen Mark with that phenomenal Queen charge, and her not getting the multi is really what cost him in the end. But Eve Vision, the one to finish it off here for Elevate, and coming in again with what I would say is probably one of his comfort zone areas, and that is the Super P.E.K.K.A. Smash.
Absolutely, and I think you called that right. Elevate will be wanting to get the 3-star here because they've really upped their performance, I feel, this week. It's unfortunate they still find themselves down towards the bottom of the table, and they really do need to start picking up the victories soon. But as long as they are going toe-to-toe with the likes of Tribe Gaming, they know they've got the ability. It's just if they can have that little bit of luck on their side as well, and not getting unlucky with the end of the Lalo attacks. So let's find out with this Super P.E.K.K.A. Smash as we have the funnel set up and a nice easy path to the Town Hall. I wonder if he's actually going to swap. Nope, Battle Blimp comes in. I thought this might have been one of the occasions where we've seen a wall wrecker instead.
Now, coming in, he knows he's cleared the path safe and sound, but maybe not fully. He has to wait out this tornado trap, which is fine. There's no storages to run the risk of the sneaky goblins getting distracted by, so very patiently allows it to drop in place. Now, we do have the main push moving forward, and look at this beautiful transfer over of the healers to the P.E.K.K.A.s, to the Super Wizards, but the Queen jumps in the core, and this isn't actually a bad thing because she does have the Unicorn to keep her going. again, just the biggest problem is a lot of ground bows on her, and the P.E.K.K.A.s just beating their way through the opposite side of the wall, but they do have the jump to help bring them back and connect to where the Queen, unfortunately, actually will finish off.
Yeah, you're right. He definitely wanted the P.E.K.K.A. through the middle, almost beelining from jump to jump, but it's not really too bad here because he was going to send the RC from the 12 o'clock area, I think, anyway. So what it means is she has the tanking. The jump spells last an incredibly long time, so they are going to be able to jump into the final compartments, and I think it's actually going to work in his favor because the healers still on the P.E.K.K.A. They can take the scatter shot. RC has the ability. He can send in the wall breaker just to do a little bit of extra damage to the Tesla. Beautiful job here by Eve Vision.
And hanging on to this Royal Champ ability as long as possible because he knows he's got a few more defenses to still work his way through, particularly as the P.E.K.K.A.s were starting to thin out a bit, but the healers get them back alive and well. 30 seconds on the clock. He's got no worry despite the storages here because the witches that had worked through inside that base have done phenomenal work to keep this alive and moving forward. This is exactly the way Elevate wants to finish off. P.E.K.K.A. splitting here, I would say, is a bit problematic, but the Royal Champ is right there on the storage. Minion coming in for the mine, but can they get this done in time?
Should be able to. I think I was getting worried because I called it like 30 seconds ago and I was watching the timer tick down thinking it's getting close. It's getting close. But Eve Vision does get the 3-star. It was a close